We've got the Lexus IS 500 F Sport. It is a V8.
Oh, I'm excited.
Hold on, Zach. Woohoo! Sport Plus.
There's no replacement for displacement.
No.
This has got a, can you hear that? It's got a V8 under the hood. Andrea, what's under the hood of this Lexus IS?
A 5-liter V8 with a direct shift 8-speed automatic transmission. 472 horsepower and 395 pound-feet of torque. This is a rear-wheel drive model.
This will make a run to 60 miles an hour in 4.4 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.6. You would think because it's a Lexus, it's all loaded up. Well, we're going to find out on our key standard features.
The IS 500 comes with a 10.3-inch touchscreen with navigation, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 17-speaker Mark Levinson sound system, new Lux power front seats, heated and ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory, a heated steering wheel, a moonroof, a panoramic view monitor, a temporary spare tire, and Lexus Safety System Plus 2.5, including blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert.
Sport Plus, Sport, it's all good. What else can we put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the Cup of Car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
Does sound good.
Really, I mean, it sounds great.
Well, there's a couple of things that make this good. I think it looks good, and I think the sound is definitely key, but it's kind of a step behind compared to a lot of other performance small sedans. One thing is, it handles really well. That was an update they made 2 years ago.
Yeah, this has got an F Sport tuned adaptive variable suspension. It has Yamaha rear performance dampers and stabilizer bar, a Torsen limited rear slip differential, paddle shifters, and then of course a variety of drive modes. Our favorite, Sport Plus.
Now, I just want to touch on this for a moment because this is my biggest criticism of this car.
Yep.
Is it defaults back to being lazy pass. It just doesn't feel snappy at all. You drive it and the transmission is kind of slow to do its thing. When you put it in Sport Plus and then you really drive aggressively, it goes, oh, you want to drive like that? It kind of wakes the car up.
Yes.
But after a while, it just always reverts back to its lazy self.
Off the line, the transmission is lazy, but it does shift smoothly. I think it's a good 8-speed automatic transmission. It just, when you gun it, it is just slow to react.
Yeah, once you tell it you want it to do something more aggressive, it kind of, like I said, it stays there for a while, but it always reverts back to its Lexus ways.
We have a follower, viewer, who says that he owns one of these and he absolutely loves it. One of the reasons why he bought it is he wanted a naturally aspirated V8. He calls it a gentle giant, but he is disappointed with exactly what we're saying, the lazy transmission.
Well, you want a naturally aspirated 5-liter fire-breathing car, get a Mustang GT. That's a V8.
No, that's pretty fun.
But this is a very pretty car, and I think that this color really stands out. It reminds me a lot of that Mazda red.
This comes standard with LED premium triple beam headlamps. You've got dark chrome exterior accents, 19-inch gloss black wheels. In the US, those triple beam headlamps are on the top trim because the US gets 2 trims, and this gets 5.5 inches of ground clearance.
So a pretty looking car, kind of muscular, especially from the back where you've got these stacked exhaust tips. Are they real or are they not? We're going to get into that coming up in Questions, Coffee and Cars. But when you turn your attention to the inside, it was just 2 model years ago that they refreshed this. We're going to talk more about this in Questions, Coffee and Cars as well. And it really is starting to look dated. It has old Lexus stuff in it, like the trackpad that we don't love. So this is one area where they certainly have to work on it.
I have to say, thank goodness I can use the screen as a touch screen now, because if I just had to use the trackpad, I would go bonkers. I'm just not a fan of trackpads. Although the Mercedes-Benz MBUX system with the trackpad isn't as glitchy. I can actually get used to that one.
But nice soft touch materials on the doors, on the dash pad. I mean, of course it's a Lexus, it's very well put together, but they had to spray in a whole bunch of shiny hard plastic in the center console. That cheapens it for me.
What really stands out for me in this IS 500 is the comfort level. The seats are incredibly comfortable. It's got good lumbar support. This would just be a great daily driver. You'll have a little bit of fun with it. It's got some great sound, but you get it on a road trip and you're going to be super comfortable.
That's really where I think this car would shine, is if you were doing a cross-country bomber in this car, you would have a lot of fun. It's a great soundtrack with the Mark Levinson stereo and with the V8 engine and with your credit card going ding, ding, ding every time you fill it up. It's a good soundtrack. It's the kind of soundtrack I like.
And the CD player.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that too.
There's only one trim in Canada. We went through all of the key standard features, including the 10.2-inch touchscreen. In the US, you have two trims, so you're missing some of those standard features that the Canadian trim has, but you do get them all on your top trim. One thing I want to point out is even the heated steering wheel on this model is not heated all the way through.
When you start comparing it to other performance compact luxury sedans, there's actually some value here because it does come fully equipped, where the Germans, they add on every package. If you've ever shopped for one, you know that. We'll get to that coming up in our hot topic. Space-wise, one of the shortfalls of this car is the back seat is not that roomy. You don't get a ton of headroom and legroom. The pitch of the seat is pretty good though, which does make it comfortable once you're in there.
Comparing the IS 500 to the BMW 340i, it offers some nice space for a sedan with 44.8 inches of front row legroom, which is over 2 inches more than the BMW. Second row legroom at 32.2 inches is not as big. The BMW has an extra 3 inches for you to spread out. The Lexus offers 10.8 cubic feet of trunk space, which is a little less than the BMW at 13 cubic feet.
Well, you guys have caught on to this. There's some things this doesn't have. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Does Lexus really expect this car will hold its own against the competition? I've always been a huge fan of the design of the IS, and this car is good looking, but it is so outdated on the market now, even with the latest redesign a few years ago.
Yeah, it's only been 2 model years since they updated it.
Yeah.
And back then we even criticized it and said it was just really a warmed over car, and they updated a few things. I totally agree with that whole thing. Whoever said that, I'm with you.
I know, I feel the same way. The interior, it's amazing in 2 years how far we have come. Even for Toyota Lexus as well, they've got a new infotainment system. They've added wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
This doesn't have it.
We still have the trackpad here. There's no wireless charger. There's no heated rear seats. It needs a refresh.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
That CD player is just ridiculous. Well, here's the thing.
What's the thing, Andrea?
I did say in one vehicle that we reviewed, what? It has a CD player. It was the RX. And look I don't use CD players anymore. I don't carry around my CD collection. In fact, I've given it away.
No, you haven't given it away. It's in our shed. There's about 1,000 CDs in our shed.
Anyway, I don't use it anymore, but these things are very popular, and I think it has a lot to do with the demographic.
It's got to do with sound quality. So Mr. Levinson went to town on this. It's got the Mark Levinson sound system, which is always fantastic. Now, the thing is, when you have your phone and you're streaming, or in this case, you plug it in because it has no wireless, and you plug it in, and then you're streaming your Spotify or whatever it is, that's an MP3 compressed file. It's not high quality. When you put a CD in there, you've got basically reference audio. And then when you match that to what Mark Levinson's up to, then you have much better sound. For people who are audiophiles, will like that.
They just think it's amazing.
That's 8 guys, but they'll like it.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's super easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in the name of the channel. That's Motormouth, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Lexus, and there are lots of reviews where we like the car more.
The quad exhausts, are they all real this time or just two each side again?
Oh, I have a line, Andrea. We talked about this on the walk yesterday. Seinfeld fans will get this. They're real and they're spectacular.
Yes, real. There's no sound piped into this IS 500 F Sport. It's all real. And you know what? I think it sounds really good.
So this is basically the ISF Lite, the original ISF. Yes, it's got the stacked exhaust at the back. It looks great. This is a nice looking car.
It looks cool.
So it's got all of that going for it. It sounds good.
Yeah.
It just needs a little, no, it needs a lot more snap. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I accept that the M3 is the sharper and more focused tool, but given that they are both the zenith of their company's compact luxury line, do the soundtrack and charm of this V8 combined with Lexus quality and dailiness overcome those buck teeth and massive price gap? Hit it.
See? Lazy. It's in Sport Plus. That took like almost a second for it to drop a gear. That drives me crazy. All right, let's get into a few things that this has and a lot of things it doesn't have. It's got the sound and a naturally aspirated V8. We've already acknowledged that.
Good power.
And good power. What it doesn't have is available all-wheel drive. You get a BMW, we're going to get into that. You can get it with all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I really have a hard time comparing this to certain competition. The M3 has equal horsepower to this, or let's say the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio has 505 horsepower, but these vehicles are always on. They're so much more intense than this.
They also have more torque, right? This is a naturally aspirated. Those are both turbocharged.
Yep.
That's why you get more torque.
So I want to then compare it to something that has less horsepower, and that's the BMW M340i, which I think is a better comparison, but still the 340i is still more engaging than this.
Yeah, and a fantastic inline six-cylinder. Plus, that's all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Plus, I forgot one, Andrea. This comes standard and is not available with leather seats. It comes standard with leatherette. I mean, if you're okay with that with a luxury car, have at it, but a lot of people won't be.
Now, what people will buy this for, they want to have something that's kind of fun. It's a really comfortable driving experience, but excellent reliability. This gets stellar marks from J.D. Power, 90 out of 100 for reliability, and that says something for a lot of people who are spending over $75,000 Canadian.
All right, let's get into the stats, like how much gas does it like to and more.
Let's start with pricing. In Canada, it starts at just over $75,000. And in the US, the F Sport Performance is just over $58,500. And the F Sport Premium, just over $63,000.
Here's the fuel economy for this V8, 14.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 9.3 on the highway. That's just 17 miles per gallon in the city, 25 miles per gallon on the highway. Lexus offers a warranty of 4 years, 80,000 kilometers, or 50,000 miles. In the United States, you get complimentary maintenance for 1 year or 10,000 miles. So we've already touched on a few competitors to this. Let's get into the power and more in for your consideration.
For your consideration. 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the BMW M340i with a turbocharged 3-liter inline 6 with a 48-volt mild hybrid system, 382 horsepower, and a starting price of $68,000.
Next is the BMW M3 Competition, also with a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder, but this is a twin turbo, 473 horsepower, and a starting price of $89,500.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio with a 2.9-liter twin turbo V6, 505 horsepower, and a starting price around $96,000.
And the one to watch and coming soon is the Mercedes-Benz AMG C43 or C63. Pricing has not been announced.
So there are some high-performance sedans for you to consider.
Lightning round. 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
I like how comfortable this is.
I think it's a good-looking car.
What I'm really missing is a wireless charger.
And I was just expecting more.
I like the looks and I like the sound.
I'd like them to add a little more snap.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.